Welcome back to the Real Estate Girls podcast. We're your hosts, Heather and Kaci. Whether you're buying, selling, or just obsessed with the market, we're here to bring you expert advice, behind-the-scenes stories, and a dose of realness.
We've got a great episode lined up for you today. It's been a minute since we've checked in, but this marks our very first episode of 2026. In this episode, we're pulling back the curtain on the real stuff, our wins, our losses, and the lessons 2025 taught us about real estate.
We'll also talk about how the market shifted, what caught us off guard, and what buyers and sellers should realistically expect as we move into 2026 real estate market, especially here in Florida.
So Heather, how was your Christmas? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Yeah, it's February.
Oh gosh.
Christmas was good. We went on vacation to West Virginia, so that was fun.
How was skiing? You took all 4 of your kids?
Three of them.
Okay.
Yeah, my oldest, he's kind of moved out and like starting his own adult life. But
how is it a ski vacation with 3 kids? Like, did Scarlett have did she have lessons, or does she just
She doesn't, so she sometimes does lessons, but she's a better skier than all of us. But they pretty much go with my husband because my husband's an expert skier. Oh. I stay on the bunny slope and in the bar. I am like that. I'm the one who is still doing pizza, slowly with caution arms out. And then I'm like, well, that was fun. And then I go to the bar.
Wait, so where did Brian learn how to ski?
He, in college, he just started going up there with all his college friends, and he just, jumped into it.
Oh.
But I think for boys, when they're, late teens, early 20s, they don't really care, you know, they just do dangerous stuff and jump into it. And that's probably the best way to learn to ski.
For sure. Just throw them out there.
Yeah.
What about, did you have any hot chocolate or just beer?
Oh, both.
How long did y'all stay?
We usually stay for a week.
Okay.
That way we can get all the skiing in. We can eat at all the restaurants that we want to eat at. And then they have this little night skiing place, and we do that one time, and then tubing. So it's so fun. It's Snowshoe, West Virginia. We have fun.
I want to start taking Sawyer when she's a little older, I think. So my dad used to take me and my brother when we were little skiing.
Yeah.
And I think he thought we were in the Olympics. I know the Olympics are on right now, but I think we were hardcore.
Yeah.
We were trained at a very young age. We took the lessons, so we knew proper technique and everything. And there was no breaks. We would always stay in a decently priced hotel, nothing fancy, none of these nice resorts. But they would have continental breakfast, so we would get the bagels. We would hit the slopes at 9 or 10.
Yeah.
We would literally ski all day. All day. I'm talking double black diamonds.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, we started with the greens, obviously, when we were kids, but as you get older or whatever.
Yeah.
So we would ski, we would snowboard, we go every year. And then I lived in Montana for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I predominantly snowboarded in Montana, which was fun. That's when the GoPro was really the thing, and you had the GoPro on your helmet.
Yeah.
And but those are some of my most cherished vacations as a child.
Yeah.
So I know your kids are just loving them.
They love it.
And y'all go every year.
Yeah, we go every year. We started going 4 years ago, and the kids loved it so much that we just go every year. So
were you able to take a break from real estate, or
no?
Were you I know.
No,
never.
It's
never.
Where we were at, we didn't really have Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
I was stressing the whole time. I was that crazy person out trying to catch a signal or find a Wi-Fi place.
When you have listings, we've talked about this before on the podcast, you can't just put your phone in a locker and not worry about it.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Yeah.
So you had a good Christmas. We had a great Christmas. Sawyer turned 3 on December 31st. She's a New Year's Eve baby. So I always tell her every year, you're going to have fireworks every year for your birthday,
girlfriend.
I
love that.
We had a dinosaur birthday party for her. It was fabulous. It's just really busy.
Yeah.
Still doing real estate. We'll talk about one of the deals that I had in December.
Yeah.
You just had a birthday this week. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
38. How do you feel? You look fantastic.
Thanks. I've been getting my Botox done
my
regularly.
Gosh, you look so good.
I started doing it at 37 and I will not turn back because it's subtle, but I just feel like it helps us age gracefully.
I know I'm there. I'm just scared, but I will eventually like delve into that. We're the same age. Like I'll be 38 in May. But I think once I do it, then I won't turn back. But they always say like start early. Like if you're like in your 40s and you start, it's too late.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get there. I'm just not there yet.
You know what it helps with is when you're like trying to keep a straight face when like a buyer or seller says something crazy. And I'm like, thank God I got my Botox.
That is so true because I can't. Like you'll just. Well, I never really looked into it till I went to one of those places with one of my good friends, Victoria. And there was some special, this was a couple years ago. And she's like, come with me to this Botox place. And so then like they're doctors, right? Or nurse practitioners?
Well, the girl I go to, Ashley, shout out to Balance Beauty. She's a nurse practitioner, I think.
Okay. Well, she was telling me how like in the mirror when I go like this, like I have wrinkles on my forehead and I never noticed it like when I'm speaking. And then the whole time when my friend Victoria is getting her Botox, I'm in the mirror like doing my eyebrows and I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's a real thing, but keep on rocking it.
Oh,
You're still exercising. You're still running.
I exercise when I can. I don't run like I used to, but I am still running and working out, and you've been walking and exercising too.
Not really. No, not really. No, we've been sick, which is why my voice is like this. So everyone has these like 2026, New Year's resolutions. I probably need to get back on the exercise train. I actually had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and my doctor was like, "How often do you exercise?" I was like, I need to get back into it. Like I need to start, lifting some weights again because you just feel better after.
Oh yeah, even a walk.
Yeah, I'm just so exhausted by the end of the day. But I know when I do it, I'll get more energy and those endorphins will go. So let's check back in the next podcast and see where I'm at.
Yeah.
The Olympics are on. Are you watching?
I'm not, but I do see your posts on social media, but I haven't had time to do anything lately.
Gosh. I'm obsessed with the Olympics. So ever since I was a little girl, I've been obsessed. I don't know if it's just like, it's just admirable to see these athletes. They train so hard for 4 years for one opportunity and to compete with other nations at the highest level to be the best in the world. I don't know. It's just, it's really, one of my favorite things right now with Sawyer is we'll have breakfast. See, I'm sick. I'm sorry. We'll have our routine, a nighttime routine. So we'll have dinner. We'll brush her teeth, take a bath, and normally I'll read her some books and then I'll put her to bed. Now, since the Olympics have been on, after bath, she asked if she can cuddle on the couch with me and watch the Olympics. Gosh. And I'm like, you're 3. How do you how are you into this? But I love it because we get under the covers, we cuddle up. I love figure skating. I'm obsessed. Like do you remember Christy Yamaguchi?
Yes.
Christy Yamaguchi, Johnny Weir, like all these like legends, the fashion, the dancing on the ice, the the quads, the triple axles. I'm just so like drawn to it.
Yeah.
And so we'll watch that, like the figure skating and then the speed skating we've been watching.
Oh yeah.
And she's really into it. So then a couple of days ago, I picked her up from school and we had lunch and she had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And she's in this, I don't know if Ralphie is like this, but she wants her privacy now. Like, so you have to like close the door, give them the privacy. It was like she had to go number 2.
Yeah, big girl.
So after like a couple minutes, I'm like getting worried. I'm like, did she fall in? Like, what's going on with my child? So I'm like, peek through the door. I'm not even kidding you, Heather. She had toilet paper that she had put underneath her feet, like a square on each foot. She was doing this like shuffle up and down the bathroom. I go, what are you doing? She goes, Mama, I'm ice skating.
Oh.
I'm like, these are the moments I live for. This is why I love the Olympics.
I love that.
My daughter, we obviously don't have an ice skating rink here.
Right.
And she's going to ice skate after she goes to the bathroom, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love that
these moments
so much.
So yeah, it's the little things this year that I've really been like dialed in and trying to like be present.
Absolutely, because you don't get it back.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've been so busy in real estate.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're going to do a little bit of Q&A rapid fire questions. Heather, when you think back on 2025, what is the first word that comes to mind and why?
Probably resilience. Just because I think we were working very, very hard. We still are.
Yes.
Last year.
For sure.
And still going into this year. But I think the agents who are staying resilient, they're still like staying on the grind, reaching out, moving forward after a really tough deal, like one that should have knocked you down, and had you questioning, what are you doing with your life? Just staying on the grind after stuff like that or situations like that really probably brought a lot of people through 2025 to have a successful year. So that's probably the word I would pick.
That's a really good word. I would say for me, challenging,
Yeah.
like probably the most challenging year that I've had in real estate. You've been in a lot longer than me, but just late nights, early mornings,
Yeah.
constant communication, almost like a therapist to your sellers or buyers.
Absolutely, I know. Yeah.
Being the calm in the storm and over-explaining and providing information, providing factual information, providing real estate information. It's been a lot more difficult. I think I did about 3 million in sales less in 2025 than I did in 2024, and I worked twice as hard.
Yeah.
So challenging for sure. I'm hoping 2020, and I think challenging in a good way because it makes you a better agent.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
know? And so I'm hoping 2026 will be a little less challenging. But real estate's not easy. If you do this job full time, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. So, Kaci, did you have a real estate goal in 2025 and did you hit that goal?
So in my mind, I always, maybe because like our coworker Angie had this in my head, like if you do 10 million a year, you're good. So I always have this kind of like 10 million in real estate, like gross sales. I didn't hit it. I was almost 9. The year before I did almost 12. So, I think in October, November, I was like complaining to my husband, like, man, I'm really slacking this year. He's like, what are you talking about? You're not slacking. Like, you're killing it.
You're,
Like, it's a
you're
tough
in the
market.
top 1%.
Yeah.
Even hitting. But here's, I've never hit 10 million. I've been in real estate a lot longer, but you've always hit a higher goal than I've ever hit. And, but we also, both of us, we don't pay for leads.
Right. We don't. We
We
don't pay for
completely
leads.
work on
Yeah.
our sphere of influence, and that's it. So I think for us, we also net more than most agents.
That's one thing that we haven't talked about on this
Yeah.
podcast is, and we're not on a team. Like, I don't think ERA, we don't have a team.
No.
So you see like these teams on social media, putting out these big numbers. Yeah, there's 4 people on the team. They
Yeah.
did probably 5 million a piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to keep our expenses as low as possible. Obviously, we've talked about putting a lot of money in marketing, which we have. But we don't pay for Zillow leads or anything like that. And so, I appreciate the compliment. I mean, you killed it. I feel like where you kind of put yourself in an atmosphere of your own is the video that you put out last year. I think it was really quality content on social that you were putting out, like day-to-day stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I remember just recently you were driving all over the stratosphere. You were in Marianne. I mean, multiple counties. I feel
Yeah.
like you were in Jackson, Washington, and Bay.
Yeah.
You were driving all over, and you still had the time to be like, okay, this is our next showing. This is what this looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you manage that stress, because with me, like, I'm like, I just have a certain amount of information that I want to get out during those showings. And you're not only prepared for the showings, but you're also putting out like social content at the same time, which could be challenging.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
I appreciate you saying
Yeah.
that.
That's tough.
I feel like also for agents, when we get a real estate license, no one tells us that we're going to have to be a marketing firm for ourselves as well.
Oh my gosh.
And it's
Yeah.
like, now that's the norm, is you have to put yourself out there, because social media is a new way of touching your sphere of influence base. So I'm jumping in the car. I've got, all my listings lined up, and I'm just like, turn the camera on real quick, talk to myself real fast. And
A lot of multitasking.
yeah,
going
it's
on
a
there.
lot of multitasking. But it does get stressful. And I'm still showing those people houses all over the panhandle of Florida, which is fine. I've grown to love them. They're like a sweet family, and I definitely
But
want to
that's a
help
lot
them.
of time. I mean, those are full days. I think that you were on a weekend, doing that on a weekend. We work a lot of weekends. Like, I've been showing buyers this year. Predominantly, I do listings, but I also work with buyers as well. And they're like, oh, we feel bad because we're reaching out to you on a Sunday or a Saturday. It's like, we work every single day. There's not one day where I can't remember one day apart from Christmas.
Yeah.
I did put the phone away on Christmas.
Yeah.
But I had a closing on Christmas Eve that I was working. But it's like, this is our job. Don't feel bad. Like, it's part of it.
We're dedicated to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's see. Heather, what was your biggest win in the real estate in 2025? Was there a deal that you were especially proud of because of how hard it was to get to the closing table?
One comes to mind,
Okay, tell me
and
about it.
it has to do with new appraisal regulations. I think we had an appraiser on who said that regulations were kind of loosening a little bit, but there is one with FHA that I didn't know about. And sometimes in real estate, the knowledge that you gain from learning the hard way is how you become a seasoned agent and how you know for future deals. But and I've sold mobile homes and modular homes, manufactured homes before. This was a manufactured home. If FHA easily could go FHA.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yes, and it was solid and it was clean. There was nothing I could see that would be a problem. I've had others, in worse condition go through FHA. So all to say, the condition of this home was very, very good. Well, the appraiser goes out and says that a new FHA requirement on manufactured homes is that the skirting has to be a solid skirting. So the fix that we had to do, I think, was putting a solid hardy board around it. It still has to have like vent panels on it, but it can't be the vinyl type of skirting that a lot of your manufactured homes
like
just
that's
naturally come with.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them. So that's an FHA requirement. But also, again, it's how stringent is the FHA appraiser going to be? And this one followed all the rules, which I'm not hating on him for that. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, those are stressful.
Yeah.
Those are but y'all got it done.
We got it done. Luckily, with Thomas and Brian, between their subs.
A-team.
The A-team.
The A-team contractor.
I think that for both of us, sometimes just like having that backup whenever we need it is nice.
Speaking of husband help, one of my challenging, I feel like I've had so many challenging, it's so hard because I don't know if it's like when you give birth, they say, oh, you forget about it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times when you have these like very challenging transactions, you forget until like you drive by the house or something. You're like, oh, I remember how bad that was.
Yes.
But I was trying to like think about this question. I was like, okay, there's been like 7 like out of like 30 last year. But Thomas came in big on Christmas Eve for me. I had one, which lesson learned, I should have known. The agent said, can the buyer, we're like a week out from closing. We're supposed to close on the Christmas Eve. And the buyer's agent was like, hey, the buyer would like to start moving in some of their stuff. Can they move in like 5 boxes into the garage? The seller was okay with it. I was okay with it. I was like, fine, in the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's not be so, rigid.
Right.
No. So I let it happen. So December 23rd comes, the seller signs. So I'm thinking 24th should be a breeze.
Yeah.
They just have to do the final walk and everything will be fine, hopefully. So they do the final walk. And there is a bunch of items that the seller has left in the garage, okay, that he didn't remove. And the buyer's not particularly happy with this because it's like, what are they going to do with all these boxes that the seller left? So I reached out to the seller. I was like, hey, can you get these boxes? He was unable to do it. It was more like trash. He just wanted it trashed.
Yeah.
So one of Thomas's guys was able to, on Christmas Eve, or maybe it was December 23rd. The facts are blurry. Maybe the night of the 23rd, he went out, I said, get everything out of the garage, trash it, so we can be done with this. Yeah. Okay. Fast forward to Christmas Eve. The agent does the final walkthrough. Everything's gone, including the buyer's boxes, because I had forgotten to tell the Thomas's guy, handyman, that helped get all these boxes, that, hey, there are like 5 of the buyer's boxes. This is where they're located. And then there's all the seller's things. Well, he just took everything because that's what I told him to do. Yeah. So now we have missing items from the house. I get multiple phone calls Christmas Eve. Obviously, we have plans with family.
Yeah.
They're stressed out. It's highly stressful. And that whole transaction was a bit stressful because it was a probate one, and there's timelines and things like that. There's so much that went into it. So we were able to get a hold of Thomas's guy. Make a long story short, luckily he still had the items and hadn't trashed them. And we were able to coordinate on Christmas Eve for the buyers to get their belongings back.
Holy macaroni.
But lesson learned. Like, I won't do that ever again. I won't make exceptions. And, sometimes, like you said, it just takes experience. I knew we shouldn't have let it.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of things last minute that we have to do as realtors, especially on final walkthrough. I had one in Tallahassee that recently closed. Same thing. The seller left a bunch of things. He thought that the buyer wanted, like, some lawn equipment and things like that. The buyer didn't want any of it.
Yeah.
So I had to scramble and get someone to Tallahassee to get all these things out. I mean, it's just stuff that you have to do all the time to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And so that was very challenging.
That's a good point that you make. I feel like 9 times out of 10, sellers don't leave your stuff in the house and the junk that you just don't want to take, and you're trying to say, oh, the buyer can use it or the buyer wants it. No, they don't.
They don't want any of it.
They don't want your stuff.
They don't want your stuff.
Take it out.
Maybe if it's a washer and dryer that they specifically asked for, or furniture they specifically asked for, but like your junk that you don't have room to discard, don't.
Right.
That could ruin a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that buyer could have walked. They weren't gonna walk in this particular instance, but it's an inconvenience for everybody. And maybe, I didn't do my job explaining to him everything I thought I did. I don't know, maybe there's miscommunication, who knows, it's the holidays, but he left a lot of stuff, and you just have to, that's when the realtor comes in and they say, we make too much money, right?
Yeah.
No. That's when the realtor comes in and is there and makes sure everything's right. And, we get to the closing table.
Yeah. So on that point that you just made, like people saying realtors make too much money.
Oh gosh.
I'm going to harp on it because lately it's been bothering me.
Good.
So bad. Okay. So you hire a realtor, you sign an agreement with them, whether it be a buyer broker agreement or a listing agreement. Your agent is spending their time and money on gas, travel time. They're setting up showings for you. They're arranging for marketing. They're analyzing data hours and hours. They're waking up. As soon as they wake up, they're answering emails and phone calls for you, vetting questions from other agents, plus arranging marketing, paying for the marketing for you, arranging showings.
Arranging repairs.
I've already listed 4 separate careers that only do that one thing. Attorney with contracts, a marketing person just with marketing alone, an analysis just with data alone. So we're doing all of that, including the emotional part of it and talking to our buyers and sellers. Yet we have to get babysitters on weekends. We're having to arrange showings on weekends. We work 7 days a week from wake to sleep, but we make too much money. If you calculated it out, we do way more than what we're paid for.
Right. And I think, one thing coming into 2026 is I need to stand up for myself and value myself a little more.
Yeah.
Because I think the conversation over, can you do it for this much?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is what I charge because this is my marketing plan. This is all my time, money, and effort that goes into this. And instead of just taking on very complicated listings where the seller doesn't want to be on board with price and it's very difficult and then wants to underpay you, like those, that's probably one change that I'm going to definitely because our time's valuable. Yeah. We do bring a lot to the table, not to toot our own horn, but we are working around the clock.
Yeah. And that's why 75, what's the stat?
75%, I think it's 75% of realtors last year didn't sell a single home. Didn't sell a single home.
Because they don't understand the commitment that you have to make. They think, this phrase makes me so mad, opening doors to pretty houses. I would love to stand around and open doors to pretty houses. Okay, Stacy, that's not what we're doing.
If you don't know how to
No offense to anyone named Stacy. That was the first name that came to mind.
At least you didn't say Casey. But I think, they just don't understand with the contracts, like 12 pages. Yeah. And you're dealing with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
And the liability.
Exactly. So I have an agent I won't name, but it's a really dear friend of mine. A buyer's agent was really tricky on where they put closing cost assistance on the contract. It wasn't under additional terms. It was on line 141.
Cost to be paid by the seller.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it got her, it was $5,000 that was missed by her. It was missed by the title agent. They were a day from closing and they wanted it. And she had to give up $5,000 to make to her commission because it was a mistake. So, I mean, I'm very, like, when it comes to paperwork, I will read it 3 or 4 times because one little mistake, like, and you just, there's just a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot of stress that goes into this. And we have to take on a lot of that stress.
Right.
To make it less stressful for the client.
Yeah.
And so
we have no guarantee at the end of the day unless the property closes.
Right.
Imagine someone hiring you, listen, just a normal job, someone's hiring you, right? And you work for a month, 40-hour work week. So that's not even near what we work as far as hours go. And then after a month, at the end of that month, your employer's like, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm just not going to pay you. Would you be upset?
Absolutely.
Yes. And that
Thousands of
happens
dollars
to
on the
us
line.
all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I had one fall apart last week. It was a VA buyer, and we just fell apart with financing. And so you can never count on that money.
Yeah.
Now I am working vigilantly to get her earnest money back because we were within that financing period, but that's been kind of a struggle. But it's like, man, 100 hours, just
Yeah.
She probably maybe in the future will be able to purchase, but I mean, nothing's a guarantee.
Right.
And so what surprised you the most about the 2025 market?
I kind of thought that interest rates were going to come down a little bit more, to be honest. I thought that the market would I didn't think that the high inventory and the low buyer activity would last as long as it did, or it has.
You're right.
Because we're still kind of there. So
Absolutely.
what about you?
Yeah, I think days on market and still a strong buyer's market. I think also what surprised me is sellers really not, even when presented with factual information about the market, for whatever reason, they're emotionally attached to the house and theirs is the best one on the block, right? It's always that way.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping in 2026, sellers now had a full year of, okay, there are concessions. Don't expect full price unless you're giving closing costs, things like that. Hopefully, it's been a minute since we had the 2020, 2021 highs for sellers, that they're more realistic.
Yeah. And I think, being more realistic. And I think whenever we set a pricing point, I do ranges. And then I try to follow that up with saying, look, if we need to re-strategize the price, like just because we've set a price doesn't mean that that's where it needs to stay. The market is ever shifting.
Yeah.
And if you've got 2 new listings after we list your home that have come on the market that are priced better than your home and same exact condition, we need to adjust. So your house is picked over those 2 new listings.
Absolutely.
So,
what skill do you think you improved most in 2025?
I think kind of going back to what you said is valuing myself more.
Yeah.
And also giving myself a little more credit. We had like a recent situation, I'm going to talk about it. The title company that tried to manipulate an email because they didn't do really their job. And at first, when we kind of fell into the situation, and so what had happened is on our own personal flip.
It's always on our own personal transactions.
I know.
I don't understand why this always comes up.
I think because we're so focused on other our clients that matter to us, we kind of like let ours ride a little bit. And so I should have followed up and been like, I don't have the municipal lien search yet.
Where was I? I was checked out. I was just like, Heather, you got this one.
I did not have, well, I did, I think I did 99% of everything right. I just did not follow up with the municipal lien search, which I should have because there was a $3,500 municipal lien utility charge on it from a previous owner that had passed away. And so we didn't even know about it because we didn't have the municipal lien search. So we go to sell the property.
Deal.
Cash
It
deal.
was quick, like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah. It was real quick.
She wrote up the offer for our husbands when I was showing condos on the beach. Like, Thomas was like, hey, can you figure out this dot loop for me? And I was like, I'm showing condos on the beach. And he's like, I'll just have Heather send it to me. She can write up the offer. I was like, sure, have her do it. So we're all a team.
Yeah,
you know
we're
what I mean?
all, yeah.
But I was like checked out at that point because I was like, can we just take a break from the flips? And
And the market's been weird.
It was a good opportunity.
Yeah,
so,
it turned out okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But we didn't get the municipal lien search back. So all of us had no idea until, hey, fast forward to now, we go to sell it.
If our husbands have now fixed up the property. We got it under contract.
Yeah. And then that municipal lien search comes in, and it has a utility charge on it from a previous owner before us who has since passed away. Thank goodness the estate was still open, and the accountant handling the estate paid it. But when I went to go question the title company that we used when we purchased that property, that title company said, oh yeah, I sent it to you. And I said, well, I can't find it. Show me where you sent it to me. She took an email, manipulated the emails. So when you forward an email in Gmail, you can change the information in that chain. But Gmail, thank goodness, and this is how I learned this, because I didn't, at first, I thought I did something wrong. How did I miss this? And then I thought, I'm not giving myself enough credit because I don't think I did miss it. I wouldn't have missed something like this. And so I start researching. I'm like, I didn't miss this. She didn't send it to me. Gmail, if you click on the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and click show original, it pops that entire email that was changed back to the original email. So keep that in mind. If you suspect someone's trying to manipulate you or change an email, you can do that.
Full-fledged investigator, and I was here for it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, Heather would be an amazing cop. Like you would be like one of those cops that you see on TV that are like beautiful, but like totally BA and like catch criminals. And I mean, she's not a criminal. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
It's just, you were manipulated, and
I was mad about it.
The mistake that was made was, yes, the lien search wasn't shared with us, with you or me.
Yeah.
Definitely not me, because Heather was doing all the work on this. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
But it was that she could have put it on the settlement statement for the seller to have paid it at closing.
Which
is what should have happened.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If you're not going to share it, that's fine, but it's a couple grand. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like, at least have the seller take care of it at closing.
And then think about the liability in that. If it wasn't us, our personal transaction, and we had a client, so a buyer on that transaction, and I mean, that would have been terrible for that client to have to go to resell a property and find out that that municipal lien is on there, and they had no idea about it. So to try and cover that, I would have been way more forgiving if everyone makes mistakes. If you just would have admitted to it, and now you're covering it up, but who else down the line could that happen to? It's not okay. And also it's illegal, I'm pretty sure.
I was super proud of you for like standing up for yourself, and like because I just feel like you're so nice, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, if you're being taken advantage of and being lied to, manipulated, like you have to stand your ground, and you're not gonna, I mean, that's like, I use Sarah Hess, that's who I use. You can use whoever you want. But I don't know I think you'll think twice about using that particular.
I already am.
Yeah.
So I need, in this business as realtors, because so much for us is a liability,
Absolutely.
we have to do business
team.
with people who are honest. And
sure.
that crossed like such a boundary for me.
Your team too is your strengths as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Like we have a team, we have vendors, we have real estate attorneys, we have title agents. And those are all part of the team. They're a reflection of you.
Yeah.
So like if you are putting out a title agent, they better be pretty freaking good at what they do,
Yeah.
So that was an unfortunate. This is real estate, right? This is real estate. I'm sorry that happened. I mean, I felt like I was just like super proud of how you handled it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we figured it out.
People make mistakes. I told you I just made a mistake about letting buyers leave their things before that ink is signed.
Yeah.
You got to own up to your mistakes.
Yes.
Move forward, learn from them, And I tell that to my clients all the time. If I make a mistake, I made a mistake. I don't know if I told you this the other day. I made a mistake. It's probably around December. Another mistake. There was an agent that wanted to show one of my listings.
Yeah.
And I misread the text. I thought it was that day. So you know how much it takes for the seller to get a house ready for a showing, right? And I misread the text. It was actually for the next day. And so obviously they never show up. Everyone has a Ring camera, so they know that that buyer didn't show up. I had to call the seller and I had to eat it. I said, listen, I'm so sorry. This has nothing to do with the other agent. I made the mistake. I got the days mixed up and it's on me. It won't happen again. Now I had to be at every showing after that. You know, I was required to be at every showing, but you know what? I'll take the punishment and I'll own up to the mistake. You learn from it. And just like that agent that missed on line 141, that $5,000, she's always going to look at line 141 now. And not make that same mistake. So, let's see. Okay. So what are you doing differently in 2026, Heather? What's exciting?
Standing on business. I'm just kidding. That's what my kids say. No, I think that in 2025, I feel like we just talked about, we learned a lot.
You're killing it this year. She just listed 20 townhomes. Are they townhomes?
Yeah, townhomes.
Where are they located?
They're in Callaway, so they're near Tyndall Air Force Base. They're brand new construction, so you've already got amazing insurance rates likely, energy efficient. It's a good deal. And the seller is willing to sell an entire building, which includes 5 townhomes. I think we got a mortgage quote that came out to be like around $1,900. These are 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
Excellent.
I mean, you could rent these for $2,200 easily. And they're near Tyndall Air Force Base. It's a great investment. So.
And you staged one of them yourself? Weren't you like putting together furniture? That's so impressive.
This was interesting as we staged it, I want to say October or November, but we weren't able to list them until January. And I had gotten a quote from a professional stager who I absolutely love. Absolutely love him. Carl. His designs, the way he sees colors and patterns and puts everything together, I love it. However, the cost would have been all ours. And it's like an initial, I forget what he quoted, but I want to say it was close to 10. And then you have $700 rent every month. But because we didn't know we weren't able to list it until January for, stuff out of the builder's control to do with a CO and getting electricity, we would have been paying rent on all those months that it was staged if we would have gone with a professional stager. So we staged them ourselves, and I'm glad we did that. Where
did you guys get the furniture?
So CMAR, who is co-listing it with me, an agent in our ERA office, she picked it all out from just like different sources. She went to Home Goods and she literally just put it all together, and
it looks great.
Yeah, she's got good taste.
That's a really good development that you got, and hopefully you can build that trust with that builder. And after you sell these, you can go to the next project, find them some land, and so super impressive. You've been super busy.
You too. You've got 8 under contract, right? Or more now?
I can't even tell you. I have so I sold 2 in January. And then I have 6 closings this month in February. And then I think I have 1 the first month of March. So it's just been, it's crazy. It's every day on the phone. Negotiations back and forth, dealing with unpermitted roofs, dealing with older homes that have older, HVACs, getting credits for that. You're seeing a lot of buyer concessions. You're seeing sellers, buyers asking for more and sellers just saying, hey, I don't want to take the risk of putting this back on the market. Like, let's make this deal work. So I think 2026, you're going to see more of a more normal negotiations where, more stabilized market. So I look forward to that. But with that said, we still are in a buyer's market. We're at 100 days on market still. But it's been crazy busy, and I'm thankful for the work.
Absolutely. Talking about that 100 days on market, that's for the entire CPAR market MLS. I've had a couple people misunderstand what I'm saying.
They think it's just Bay County.
And it's not. It's for everything that's listed in our particular MLS. That's an MLS stat. So just to keep that in mind, that's not an individual stat. That's not just for Bay County.
Right. It's not just for Lynn Haven. Lynn Haven, you're going to see probably less than that because Lynn Haven's, highly desirable. Whereas Chipley, they're going to stay on longer. So it's kind of, it's an average. I was on the MLS this morning. We have approximately 3,500 active listings. A couple months ago, we had like 4,000. So we still have a plethora of listings. We still have more listings than there are buyers.
Yeah.
So you have to be competitive with price. You have to price strategically.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk about solar panels?
Yeah, talk about solar panels.
Okay.
So I've got a seller dear to my heart, which all of my sellers are. I feel like I say that every single time. But she put solar panels on her home, and the way the solar panels were presented to her was that they'll add value to her home, and then she can sell it. So fast forward a couple of months, and she hires me to sell her home, and she has me look over the contract, and the solar panels, one, they're a lease. Two, the payoff for them are about to even get to the end of the lease to sell the house, which is the lease is only 25 years, is $70,000.
How old is she?
She's elderly.
Okay.
And I feel like
How big is the house?
It's almost or a little over 3,000 square feet. It's
70,000.
It's a beautiful home, but now she has to even sell the house to get out from that. Oh, and they put a lien on her home. Like they filed a lien against her home in public record. So to even get out from under that lien and be able to sell the home, she has to pay off $70,000 in solar panels, which took that $70,000 of equity away from her. It did not add value. Mm-hmm. The appraiser did not count it as value. It took away $70,000 in equity, and it's a terrible situation. So think twice before.
Yeah, we are not pro solar panels. We are against it. We've had a appraiser on, and they try to find a house with solar panels, but what you're seeing is you're not getting that value.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the pool. You're not going to get your $100,000 adjustment for the pool. And you just got to think about it. Like, I do feel like they are taking advantage of the elderly population, because like, it doesn't really make sense if 25, 30 years to pay off, you're not going to be alive, depending on what age.
And that's a good point.
So, and if you're saving $100 by having these solar panels, but they cost $150 a month is it really a smart decision?
Yeah.
And insurance. If your home, let's just say it's a $500,000 home, but now you have $70,000 worth of solar panels, the insurance company is wanting to assure that for those solar panels. So your insurance is going to be higher. So really, you're out more money.
Yeah.
And so please think twice about it, like you said.
Yeah.
So have y'all sold it, or
it's under contract?
Okay,
yeah.
But she's going to lose all that money.
Yeah, she's
paying it off on closing.
Yeah, because you have to. It's called a UCC lien. Okay. And so it has to be paid off before closing because it's a lien against your house.
The buyer can't take over.
No, they're getting a mortgage, so they can't take over the payments, and the lien has to be released before she can close, so she can sell it. It's tough.
Even if you could, what buyer in this buyer's market is going to want to take over an extra $150 or whatever it is a month payment?
Yeah.
It might be more. What I'm seeing in this market is paid off at closing.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't have the equity to pay it? Then you're bringing your own money to the table to make the deal work.
Yeah.
You could almost get trapped in these homes.
Yeah.
If you don't have. That's unfortunate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel bad for her. Where's she going?
She is moving closer. So she's got grandbabies,
Aww.
and this is like my favorite thing in the whole world, because that's what I live for, is like my babies, and then I can wait because my boys are my older boys are still very young.
Yeah.
But I also am very excited about the idea of one day becoming a grandma and having little grandbabies running around.
It starts all over again.
Yeah.
'Cause then you can have the baby stage again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fun. Okay, so I know one of the questions was what is one of your more difficult transactions?
Yeah.
One just came to mind as we're sitting here. So I want to, before we sign off for the day, I want to tell you about it. So I had this listing. Oh my gosh, probably one I shouldn't have taken, but hey, we got through it. It was a 2-story off of 26th Street in Lynn Haven, and it was interesting. It was like a contemporary build. and where you had a lot of 1-stories and traditional builds.
Yeah.
Okay. Across the street were commercial businesses, so it kind of made sense. But they made this like 2-story weird house with no garage on this because the lot was so small. Right.
Oh, gotcha.
It was listed for 2 years with another agent. So 2 years on the market, didn't sell.
Yeah.
First red flag.
Yeah.
Normally, obviously it's a busy road. You have a lot of traffic. And normally it's always the price. I always think if it doesn't sell in 2 years, it's probably the price.
Yeah.
In this particular instance, it probably was the price, but it was a funky build. Like you go in, the cabinets looked like they were beautiful, beautiful cabinets, but they belonged in Colorado.
Yeah.
Not in Panama City, Florida. It had like that dark, like brown carpet upstairs and all the bedrooms. Wasn't that like, to me, I didn't mind it, but the majority of buyers don't like that kind of carpet. And the layout on the first floor was really funky. Like you didn't know where the furniture could go. So when I came in, I said, okay, I'll take the listing, but number one, you got to get a refrigerator. It had no refrigerator. I was like, this is brand new. No one's ever lived in it. Get a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like there's always running deals at Lowe's or Home Depot. Get a refrigerator. I was like, get blinds. Blinds are mandatory because this is a busy road. We got to, normally at houses, don't you open all the blinds or whatever? Get as much like, we don't want that here.
Yeah.
We want all the blinds closed. We don't want them looking at all the cars passing by. You can hear them. And I even was like, maybe we should play some like music during the showings because the cars were so loud.
Yeah.
And so the seller listened to me. I think the last pricing was at 286.9, something like that. And when I took on the listing, we ended up selling it for 284 or 282, something like 4,000 less than after being on the market for 2 years, which you can see the history.
Yeah.
You can see the history on Zillow. You can see the history on MLS. You can see this has been on the market like 600 something days. Like, but that was a huge win for me to get out of that one. I had to tell the buyer's agent like, hey, we can do a fence to kind of block out this noise and have a little bit more privacy. And that's when I also got Carl to stage the bottom,
Nice. Yeah.
which really helped with the photos and for them to visualize the space. The buyer loved the furniture so much they wanted to buy it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
love Carl.
Carl was willing to sell it, but they didn't want to pay for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a lot that went into that listing that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
I didn't make that much money on it. After all the marketing, the staging, all this stuff that I paid for, but it was a win because it was a client that had used me in the past, multiple transactions, and it was a big hurdle to overcome that.
Yeah.
It's so hard to take on a listing that's been listed for that long. So that was a big win, I would say, for 2025.
For sure.
But we're gonna end this first episode of 2026. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And our next episode, we'll be talking all about the 2026 market, what to expect. Please tune in, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you would like to see in upcoming episodes.
We're the Real Estate Girls. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.